Round 2 of the 2031 eMLB Amateur Draft. Ready to start. Sacramento's pick is in. They will select the German 19-year-old center fielder Ozzie Bones. That is D-Block's community-created player. Was a sophomore at Wichita State this past year. 277 hitter with 14 homers, 55 runs driven in. Pretty good defender in regards to his potential. They definitely think that he will be a plus defender down the road. But respectable power and ability to kind of limit the strikeouts is the current belief on him. Again, this is a community-created player from D-Block. We'll lock him in as the first pick of the second round. I think it's Ozzie. I'll let D-Block confirm me. Kansas City will now be up. Minerva. I thought it was Ozzie. I'll let D-Block confirm that, though. Either that or D-Block might be swearing big time right now. Gentlemen, what I'm going to ask is I would really appreciate, so I don't have to bounce to multiple screens, if I could ask that you make your selection to me in Twitch Whisper first. Then as I announce it, go ahead and put the selection in to Stats Plus. Minerva's selection is in. Or no, it's not. He says 1 second. You're fine. You got about 4 minutes remaining on your timer. Jose. Okay, I have a pick. Let me confirm it. Let me check one other thing for you. Chose the wrong thing. Whoops. There we go. All right, selection is in for Kansas City. Go ahead, put that into Stats Plus, please. They will select from Austin, Texas, 19-year-old Freddie Robinson. Robinson is from the 1.0 universe. Very high contact potential. Good line drive type of hitter. At least average to slightly above average on the speed, but a good defender. Get one of those guys that he'll be respectable as a center fielder, but probably better as a corner outfielder overall. And again, we wanted to say that whenever we have an opportunity, we want to show you what the 1.0 player has done. Here's a 1.0 look at Fred Robinson, now Freddie. He was a 288 hitter in his time, playing mostly for the Houston Astros, just 1 cup of coffee with the Rockies. But a 288 hitter, 31 homers, 205 RBI, and exactly 100 stolen bases in just over 1,700 career at-bats. Fred Robinson, or Freddie Robinson now, drafted by the Kansas City Royals. He's in. Atlanta's up. Moose Powers has sent me a whisper. He has his pick. All right. I know, right? Back in 2011, that felt like a long time as well. Yeah, great. Just watching you guys argue. All right, Atlanta's pick is in. Let's check it out. Atlanta, of course, got Brody Licious in the first round. Ted Brody. This go around, they will get Mike Ebeling, a 20-year-old switch hitter from Pea Ridge, West Virginia, playing for East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania as a sophomore. Hit .313 with 14 homers. Another guy with good power potential. Good line drive hitter. Should hit for some average. Plays multiple positions, but probably will be best to stay on the right side as his arm has been graded below average, and that's an understatement. Most of you all good on entering Mike Ebeling into Stats Plus? Yes, you did. All right, Detroit selection is in. Hi, Punk. You've been quiet. Must be all that goat yoga you're doing. Detroit's selection is in. Friendly reminder, Punk, get those boosts done. Let's see your players work much better. Let's introduce the newest Tiger. OSA said this guy was going to go in the top 10. He is the 40th overall selection being done here as Detroit will select Danny Gartner, a 17-year-old senior. Holy Doogie Howsers. I must have not noticed that. He hit .490 last year with 12 homers. That's probably why they let him go forward, young man. He must be smart. He ain't paying him, who? $8.5 million. Danny Gartner? Backfields Media had Gartner at 65. Wow, you're thinking he's a back-end second-round pick. Well, he'll definitely be the type of guy that with the ability to put the bat on the ball, he'll work counts. What do you think? 290, possible 300 type of hitter with 15 homers, 20? Oh yeah, he does. It's going to be a while before he gets there. All right, Milwaukee is up. Jason Hillman will be the next to pick. Jason's selection is in. Jason, of course, drafted Doran Elmer. With the first round selection. Okay. All right, Jason, I am all set. Go ahead and enter that into Stats Plus for me, please, and thank you. Brewers will select JUCO freshman, soon to turn 19 years old, Jim Graff from Oro Valley, Arizona, playing his ball at Saracoso Community College in Ridgecrest, California. Had an amazing year, 11-4, 2.73 earned run average. Profiles as a dominant hard thrower, good fastball, excellent slider. Slider is going to touch 90. Curveball is going to be absolutely unfair when you're sitting back on heat. Only risk is with that heat, he'll throw up in the zone, and for anybody who can connect on it, he'll be able to hit it a decent way. But he'll rack up strikeouts, and he'll probably be able to keep down the walk count. He only gave up 2 walks per 9 in 135 innings in college this past year. Why am I blurry? Hello. There, better. All right, Montreal will next be up. By the way, hold on. Graff is one of those I have to remind myself is a 1.0 player. Graff didn't have an awful lot of a career. 730 innings, ERA just under 5. 652 Ks in 739 innings. So Jason's going to see this and be like, yeesh, I hope he does better. All right, GT Sundown, you are up. Your clock is ticking. All right, his selection is in. Let's set the table. And we will introduce the newest Expo. Expos, of course, selected Roger Lemons. Still love that name. Good work, Mr. Audit. Let's introduce the newest Expo. Montreal will select 20-year-old Stu Marr Jr. over at Purdue. He'll turn 21 in about a month. Solid defender, little known for having some accuracy issues with the arm, but it is strong. He's quick, but not a real stolen base kind of guy. If there's a risk, it's what type of hitter can he be in regards to average. He'll be able to get doubles, possibly even stretch triples as well. And he's a patient guy, but I don't know. Stu Marr kind of a bottom third of the order kind of guy in your profile? That's my thought. But he's smart, and we understand he loves the game. He's a gym rat. Expo's pick.
Hello there.
In. Hodo. One letter short of being one of my favorite characters. Hodor. Thank you for hitting the follow. Welcome on in. Diamondbacks will be up with their second round pick. Of course, Arizona selecting Chad Oles in the first round. Marr was in your top 8. And Tim had him at 11 overall, and he falls to 42nd overall. Okay. Stroker Race, you are up, sir. If you could send me a Twitch whisper with your selection, you have about 4.5 minutes to make your pick. Pick is in. Okay, I think I have it set. Yay. All right. You should now be able to connect on Stats Plus and enter the player. So if you wouldn't mind doing that. Why is my camera so blurry? Hello? Talking. Hi. Better. All right. Not that there's anything to really look at here. Still honoring Pancreatic Cancer Awareness with wearing the purple for today. Let's introduce the new selection for Arizona. Arizona will select 22-year-old Tim Goodwin. He's a shortstop, just finished as a senior over at Hofstra. He'll actually turn 23 in September. His parents chose to have him not be on the young side when he started his schooling. 309 hitter with 17 home runs. Excellent defender. Plays multiple infield positions, so that versatility doesn't hurt. Offensively, he'll hit for doubles. He'll be patient. He'll get he'll get his share of home runs. But again, what kind of average is this guy capable of doing? There's one negative on him. For a guy that's this good defensively, where's the speed? Tim Goodwin, though, selected by Arizona. Well done, David. I see him on Stats Plus. Portland Stags will now be up with their selection. 8th of this round and 44th overall. Attica's pick is in. Following on deck is Cincinnati, Seattle, and Colorado. Cincinnati, Seattle, Colorado. Portland's pick is in. Let's introduce it. He is nicknamed Soupy, 21-year-old from New York, Josh Blazier. He's a junior at Jefferson University in Philadelphia. Hit .291 with 17 home runs this past year. Another line drive profile. A respectable defender with very good range thanks to the speed. He'll get his doubles. He'll likely also hit homers. He'll probably be a bit better of a hitter than, say, Goodwin or Stu Maher. Just won't be as patient. And he's probably not as far away from being in the majors as some of the others. All right. Portland's in. Cincinnati will be up. Looks like JR has his pick. Okay, one moment. Okay, Cincinnati in the first round got birthday boy JJ Langelier. Let's see what they get in round number 2. From Metairie, Louisiana, 18-year-old pitcher Chris Balsam, a right-hander planning to go play for the Nebraska Cornhuskers if he goes unsigned. He's won 15 in a row in his junior and senior years with a sub-1 ERA. Hard-throwing upper 90s fastball. Control has been an issue at this level, but it's expected to develop at least be average to above average. Fastball, curveball, sinker combination. Another one of those guys that if he can throw in a respectable fourth pitch, it'll put him at least 1 or 2 spots up on the chain. I would probably rank him as a 4 type of starter right now. I don't necessarily see Chris Balsam as an ace. But again, if he can add a competent fourth pitch, he'd definitely be a 2 or a 3 to me. Okay, Portland, Attica, have you added Josh Blazier? I don't see him on the list yet. Meanwhile, Seattle is the pick. I'm going to do this just for time constraints. Looks like you got it. Okay, good. Just not showing on my end yet. There it is. And Balsam looks like he's in now. Okay, so Seattle hits. I have his selection. Seattle in the first round went with the center fielder, Raheem Jennifer. Yeah, all good. We are all set, gentlemen. Thank you. Seattle's selection is in again. Colorado, Washington, and the Yankees will be on deck. Seattle will select 18-year-old first baseman Omarion Arnick. He's a senior at Eastside High in Butler, Indiana. He's thinking of Bradley as his destination if he does not sign. At 446 this past year, the power definitely there with 11 home runs. The left-hander could be very dangerous at T-Mobile Park if he can pull the ball down the line. Arnick has been drafted by the Mariners. And because it's already there, all good. All good, Mike. Got it. Let's introduce Colorado's pick. It is center fielder Ernesto Zavala, the Puerto Rican 18-year-old, played for the Pro Baseball High School and Academy in Puerto Rico this year. Planning to be a USC Trojan if he did not sign. 15 home runs this past year for the center fielder. Well, again, I would call him an outfielder. I wouldn't call him a center fielder from major league perspectives, but that's what he chose on his draft sheets. Sure doesn't run like a center fielder. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just saying. NC Pirate is up. He's got his pick. Yankees, Twins, Orioles will be on deck. Okay, Pirate, go ahead. Put your selection in, please and thank you. Nationals will select 22-year-old reliever Mike Allison. Might be one of the guys first to make it to the majors from this particular draft class. The senior at Duquesne was 6-2 with a 2.99 ERA. He grades as a likely bullpen, possible closer type of player. Could definitely see him as a confident setup guy. Upper 90s with the fastball. Stamina could be there, but just the lack of pitch repertoire is the issue. Yes, Moose, you can. I will explain after we're done tonight that I'll keep the draft live because we got 3 rounds to do tomorrow. And no one's officially on a clock tomorrow. So you're good to set it to list pick for tomorrow now if you want. You can also wait. I'm fine either way. All right, Nationals pick is in. The Yankees will be up. Yanks, of course, were overjoyed landing Sean Rodecker. Why is my camera being a lousy bum? Hold on. Oh, where'd I go? Better. Jeez. Stupid thing. Let me check. Okay. Brendan, you're up. Yankees are up. And I see a selection. Hold on. Okay, let's go check out the Yankees' new selection. Yankees will select first baseman Tommy Bernero from Alexandria, Virginia. The 20-year-old played for Old Dominion this past season as a junior, hitting .282 with 14 homers, lots of power. Never been known for defense. He even played in a pinch hit or designated hitter role whenever he was playing for Old Dominion. And because he is one of those 1.0 players, and we like to show you what was done in those times, Bernero had a career, almost 4,000 at-bats. He's a .232 hitter with 162 home runs. He basically averaged about 20 home runs per 162 games. But still an OPS plus of 88 in that time. Again, if there's a risk to him, it's a lack of defense. But Tommy Bernero from the 1.0 universe, just drafted here by the Yankees. Twins are up. Is Aiden here? I don't know if he's umpiring or throwing someone out of the game right now. We have 24 more picks this round, including 5 more selections. So again, the 5 supplemental or compensation picks this round for lost players is Washington, in this order: Washington, Cleveland, San Diego, Texas, and the White Sox. We're waiting to see. I do not know if Aiden is in a spot to select. Got a minute 30 remaining before Aiden will be basically skipped for 10 picks. Hi, Barry. Okay, yep. No, rounds 1 and 2 always on night 1. That's how we've always done it. Rounds 3 through 5 are on the next night. And thought we put a graphic up with that. Again, after this, it'll be Baltimore, the Dodgers, then the Red Sox. Time is officially up for Aiden. He can still make a pick when he's ready, if I don't have it yet. Okay, I'm now looking at Baltimore. One moment. Again, whoever gets the pick in first, basically. Let me see. Admin. Minnesota. I have your Raise Rule 7 account as the one that is connected to it. Is there a different one? I'm gonna add. I see your other one, your actual name one. Let me connect that one too. So you had Raise Rule 7 as the only one connected. I've just added your other account with your name in it. But tell me the list. But meanwhile, this is official. This is going to be Baltimore's pick. You pick when you're ready, but this player is not available to you now. Orioles will select Canadian switch hitter Dwayne Thexton. I am not going to have fun saying that name. He played for the Mennonite Educational Institute up in Abbotsford, Canada. .479 average, 13 homers, 58 RBI. Not much of a defender, not a fast guy, but you know, a switch hitter at Baltimore who can hit the tall right field scoreboard. I could see that. It should be on OSA, but you guys will just have to live with it. Sometimes I got to do what I got to do when I have the issue that I do. Aiden, rather than playing with, I don't know if you have Stats Plus or if you're saying you don't have access to Out of the Park. You can whisper with me to tell me what you're kind of trying to look at here. But the Dodgers are now eligible to make their selection. Yeah, you just didn't tell me what the pick is. If it's Thexton, you cannot have him, though. That goes to Baltimore. Okay, I need to alter. Okay, that pick is changed. And I now see Minnesota's pick. Oops, that's why I don't see it. There we go. I'm just going to jump right into it. It is a 17-year-old Sergio Espinosa. Wow. Another guy I somehow missed that should be in the next year's draft, but he'll stay where he is. A little bit of a younger guy. 11-1 with a 1.46 earned run average. Sinker, slider, curveball, changeup profile, low mid-90s with the fastball. Yeah, but I switched it to Dwayne Thexton. So Henry became available again. All right, so Dodgers are up. Chris Holland. I think I have to look at a list. One moment. I don't see Chris, but I do have a list. Huh! Poet, I didn't even know. And there are still players on his list he sent that are good, so let me set the table on this. We'll introduce the newest Dodger. Dodgers will select Puerto Rican Juan Curiel. 21-year-old, played for the Longhorns as a junior this past year. Solid offensive presence. Considered above average both on his ability to hit for average, hit for homers, and get a respectable on-base percentage. Respectable speed, nothing that's going to steal an awful lot of bags, I would assume. The knock might be that he won't be a stellar defender, but he'll be adequate and make at least routine plays and maybe an occasional solid play. Curiel, drafted by the Dodgers. Red Sox are now up. They had 2 picks in the first round, pitcher Gene Farrell, as well as second baseman Bill Hickok. Okay, Billy, go ahead, put that into Stats Plus. We'll introduce the newest Red Sox. Red Sox will select a 23-year-old, not many in the pool, from the Hanover Township in New Jersey, Randy Phelps. Right-hander who stopped 14 saves this past year, 2.15 earned run average, Throws hard, upper 90s with the fastball. Changeup is just as good, will be masked quite well. And a guy who can throw hard and keep the ball in the park, that is a big need at Fenway Park especially. And yeah, I agree. Another guy that's not far away from being useful to a major league squad sooner rather than later. Randy Phelps signed by Boston, or drafted, excuse me. Cleveland now up. I have the pick. We'll introduce the newest selection by the Guardians. Guardians had selected in the first round Louis Sokolexis. Just for dibs. It's now announcing in the Discord, but there's the draft board itself. Guardians will select center fielder, outfielder Esteban Aguilera. He's a junior at Marshall. Born from Detroit, Michigan. 280 average with 13 homers, 47 runs driven in. 25 homers in his last 2 seasons. Expected to be a 25 home run hitter at Progressive. Probably better as a corner outfielder than a center fielder. I probably think a left fielder better. Aguilera has been signed. That will send us over to the New York Mets. 19th pick of the second round. And a reminder that we have 37 picks, so we're just around the halfway point for this round. And got you, Sadier. I got your message. Mets had selected pitcher Joey John with their first selection. Now let's see who they go with the second round. They will select from Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be. No? 18-year-old Jeremy Purdy, right-hander from Mater D High School. That's pretty cool. Planning to go to Stanford. One of the few guys that doesn't throw in the 90s, but amazing control. Just 15 batters walked in 96 innings this past season. Not expecting to get a lot of strikeouts, but anything is possible. You keep the ball in the park, and that Denbrough saying, yep, it's a right-hander, Jamie Moyer. If only the curveball and the changeup were much better. Anybody ever seen the old Jamie Moyer commercial with him and the radar gun? Saying he's throwing 96, 97, and the guys are like, huh? And they're like, oh, no, it's a French radar. It quotes everything in kph. Ooh la la, yes. That was what he had said too in that one. It's pretty funny. All right, Pirates are now up. I don't know if Kenny Lindbergh is here, but I know I got a list. I'll see if the list is still useful. Yeah, he's pretty good, right? Vanderbilt, I think, is where you said he's going. Okay, let me look through this list. It's deep. Actually, you know what? I found it really quick. All right. Pirates selection coming in. They got Doug Schmidt, the third baseman, baffles community credit player. Let's see who they get in round 2. They'll get another community credit player, and this one is Kieran Donnelly. That's Dynamics community credit player. The Chicago native also has citizenship in Australia. Donnelly played at Toledo, 305 average, 11 homers, 68 runs driven in. Respectable speed. He probably not going to be the best, at least of Dynamics community credit players. He will not be the best defensive shortstop he's got. This will be his more offensive player. The 21-year-old is 5'7", 180 pounds. Drafted by the Pirates here in the second round. Toronto will now be up. Had Kieran projected at 61, and he goes 56. Pretty accurate. Okay. After Toronto, Steve Kim, I know you are here, so you'll be looking profusely for Kim on the list. Houston has a list, and then the Phillies. So San Diego, Houston with a list, and Philadelphia coming up. Dynamic, look above. We just congratulated you. You just got picked. Pay attention. You literally were just announced and introduced. Harris's selection is in for the Jays. Let's introduce the newest Blue Jay. I don't know why this guy is nicknamed Hippo, because Out of the Park sucks with nicknames. That's the only thing that I ever have a complaint about, is the nicknames don't make no sense. But Chris Henry, 18-year-old from Ferguson, Missouri, has been selected. St. Elmo High School is where he went, planning to go to UNC. 8-2 this past year with 150 strikeouts in that time. Throws a 5-pitch arsenal. That's why I was so confused on the nickname. But that bunt, though. Okay. San Diego has their selection in. Steve, if you want to set the table, only announce it after I have shared it. And with that, let's introduce the Padres' second round pick. Their first round pick was Hingle McCringleberry. Can they get any harder names this go around? And no, it's not Kim Kim. But it is community credit player Marcus Kalahari from Austin, Texas. This is Malachi's community credit player. We met Malachi through Star Trek Fleet Command, and he created a player. He was a junior over at Toledo, second Toledoan that has been selected this year. Hit .311 with 11 homers, 52 RBI. I considered one of the best things he has. He is pretty versatile as well, too, as a utility player. Next. Astros have their selection in. Phillies on deck, Rays in the hole. Tampa, it's 4:16 a.m. in their war room. Houston selects 17, soon to be 18-year-old Josh Afuso from Cleveland. Played at Brookfield High School in Brookfield, Ohio. Planning Louisville as a collegiate destination. Expected to be a high average type hitter. Definitely a respectable fielder, probably defense first, with contact being a secondary priority. Philly up. Again, Philly up, Tampa in the hole, Chicago, the Cubs. Diz, you will be picking third here at this particular point in time. Okay, Philly's pick is in. Time to introduce the new Philly. Phillies will select 22-year-old Mike Cessna from Lansford, Pennsylvania. Finishing up at St. Francis in Indiana. 311 hitter with 12 homers and a blazing 86 stolen bases. Caught only 9 times this senior year. Projects his average to above average in most offensive talents. A respectable defender, again, from a major league standpoint, might be average as a center fielder, but again, corner outfielder will be solid. Mike Cessna going to Philly. Tampa now up. Again, Tampa, Chicago Cubs, Los Angeles Angels are the next ones up. Sean Paxler, I don't know if you're back or not. I know you sent me a message earlier that you were with your better three quarters. Let's hope D-Block did not fall asleep in the last 3 minutes. Whisper to me in Twitch, please, and then put it in Stats Plus after I show the pick. I'll only give it because it's 20 past 4 in the morning for you. I'd asked in Twitch Whisper, but Discord will work, but that's what I was trying to avoid. Was looking all over the place, so, oh well. All right. Rays go with 21-year-old Kaimani Sampi out of Lionville, Marshwood, Pennsylvania. Planning to go to he is at Iowa as a junior, the 21-year-old. Excellent range, probably going to be a stellar second baseman, but he'll be a very respectable left side of the diamond kind of guy. Again, there is potential talent there in all rounds. We'll see if he can thrive in anything in specific, but Kamani Sampi selected. Chicago Cubs are now up. And for anybody needing to make a pick, please do it in Twitch Whisper to me first, and then go ahead and put it into Discord after I've announced it. Okay, I have the Angels pick, but I'm waiting on Diz. I think Diz is here. I'll just announce him. Okay, there's Diz with... Okay. Okay. Diz, go ahead and add that to Stats Plus. We will introduce the Cubs selection here. Cubs with center fielder Kenji Kobayashi in round one. They also had a comp pick, eluding me for the moment. That was Mike Allman, the pitcher. Now they'll introduce shortstop Chris Testo from Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Our second player with some form of Czech Republic citizenship, but he is a born American, sophomore at Cal State Fullerton this past year, 294 hitter. Had a leg issue for a bit, known to be much faster, only stole 14 out of 24 attempts. That is a misleading statistic based on the profile of Testo, who is known for speed. And he is an excellent defender. Okay, Testo is signed. Or, again, drafted, not signed. Still got to sign him. Tom's pick is in. Go ahead, put that in Stats Plus. Giants are on deck. Don't know if Sean Paxler is back. Yeah, I don't know. Angels will select Ron Catrone, switch hitter from San Antonio, Texas. Fun fact, Catrone is a family name. Catrone is a junior from Savannah State. 290 average with 16 homers and 64 runs driven in. Got a pretty solid arm for a third baseman there and should be a plus power with a tough to strike out kind of guy. All right. Guess Mike didn't get back in time, so I'm going with his list. Miami, Texas White Sox on deck. We will introduce the new giant. Giants will go with shortstop Juan Cardenas. He's a switch hitter from Meridian, Mississippi. Played at Occidental out of LA as a senior this past year. He'll turn 22 in early October. Kind of a utility type of player with some offensive prowess, so I would define him in the neighborhood of a super utility type. He's probably best suited for the infield, but he could definitely play the corner outfield well as well. Ben Zobrist Jr. Yeah, so you're on the same page with me. All right, Marlins are up. Eddie, what do you got? It'll be the Marlins, Rangers, White Sox, then the Cardinals. Then we will have the 5 compensation picks from this offseason. Well, at least he's honest. Eddie sends a message saying, currently having an internal debate with myself. Be back in a moment. You think he'll fight it out? You think he'll fight it out with himself to see who he picks? Okay, I have a selection from him. Okay. Selection is in. Go ahead, put that in, Eddie. Let's introduce the new Marlin. Well, you might think you lost in a moment, but we'll see. From Washington, D.C., 21-year-old left-hander Jake Barrett. Played at Delaware this past year as a junior, 9-3, 2.87 earned run average. He can definitely throw it hard. He'll touch 90 pretty regularly with a solid fastball. A traditional 4-pitch arsenal and throw a splitter in there to boot. Now, Barrett is from the 1.0 universe, and we can tell you that he did not have a good time in that universe. Baltimore was never an achieving team in the 1.0 universe. He only got 19 starts in his time. I think he's going to have a better 2.0 career than the 5.09 ERA in 458 innings in an 8-year span. Having fun going back to nostalgia. That is the out of the park 11 that you are occasionally seeing when we have a player from our 1.0 universe that is getting drafted here. Just to show you the depth or the history. Right there. 25 years we've been doing this. Look at how freaking old I am now. Jeez. I blame Billy. I blame Billy for it all. All right, Barrett signed. Rangers are up. I have to go on a list from Jamie. Because he did not stay up as long as D-Block did. And Jamie is our other international man of mystery. Okay, Texas's pick is in. We will introduce the new pick. They will select infielder, possibly third baseman Mike Dunn. They did get shortstop Juan Saucedo. They now go with 22-year-old Mike Dunn from Warren, Ohio. A ECU Pirate. Finished his senior year there. 284 hitter. Defensive-minded. Average to above average on the power and the discipline. Fun fact dynamic, eMLB started in high heat baseball, and when we converted over to out of the park, we took the whole history from the 6 seasons we did in that. We spent 6 months putting it together, and we started in OOTP 5. The only ECU Pirate in this one. All right. White Sox, Jake, you are up. Seven selections remaining tonight. So White Sox, Cardinals to finish off round 2, and then the 5 comp picks, starting with Washington. White Sox have 2 more selections. We started with Sammy Sosa High Heat. eMLB officially was born under Sammy Sosa High Heat baseball. Okay, have a pick in from Chicago. Remember, you'll have one more pick at the very end of the draft, or this round. Okay, Jake, go ahead, put that into Stats Plus. Let's introduce the White Sox most recent selection. White Sox will go with Sergio Ardilla. From Bethpage, New York, played for Penn State Brandywine as a junior this past year. Hit a career high 336, a high average kind of guy. He's a high functioning kind of guy. Should be a patient type of hitter. He's not the fastest guy, but the understanding is that he can be a tad aggressive on the base paths. We'll have to see how that translates in the majors. That could be used against him. Probably, again, a guy that's more of a corner outfielder than a center fielder. I noticed that theme in this particular year. Cardinals are now up with their selection. Then we'll go to Washington and Cleveland with a list. I was hoping to be done by 10:30, but we're going to be closer to 10:45. You know what? Actually, I didn't even have a full head of hair back then. I was losing it early. When I started in 2000, I had not been married once. I had no kids for another 5 years. All that. Yep. Yeah, I got it. I got your pick. Um, there it is. You spelled it wrong, Anshu. I put the whole name in, but I got it. I found it. Just moved the I and the C were in the wrong spot. Cardinals go with 17-year-old Jake Adamczyk. Brentwood High School in L.A. native, planning to go to Davenport University. Definitely a offensive-minded third baseman. Probably more of a first baseman in the future. It's not a bad hitter at all. I think that's a pretty good selection here. All right, Nationals are up. Pirates, final selection of the evening. Okay, go ahead, Pirate. We'll put that pick in. Let's introduce the Nationals' latest selection. From the Dayspring Christian Academy in Marietta, Georgia, Jermaine Dunn, outfielder, has been selected here. He is from the 1.0 universe, solid arm, good ability to put bat on ball, and he can hit the ball a decent distance. And again, with the beauty of being able to share with you his 1.0 venture. Spending on several teams. He was with Toronto, with Chicago, both New York teams, and Detroit. 259 career hitter with 138 homers. That averages out to 21 homers every 162 games. He almost had 1,000 hits in his 1.0 time. Mom is struggling. Thanks for asking. She's struggling very much. It's also why I'm wearing purple in honor of Pancreatic Cancer Awareness. She is hoping to be home by the end of the week, but she's had a tough transition. She's just been exhausted. They took half her pancreas. They took her whole spleen. So she's seen better days, that's for sure. Cleveland's selection is in. San Diego now up. Let's look at Cleveland's choice. They will select Dan Metz, 21-year-old from SoCal, California. He's a junior at Ecclesia University in Springdale, Arkansas. 292 hitter with 14 home runs this past year. Respectable speed, doesn't really translate it into stolen bases, though. Another guy that could probably play the outfield well, but better on the corners. Definitely a line drive type of hitter. So to Park Lake, Cleveland, that could be beneficial with that wall out there in left field. Steve's pick is in. We are down to 3 picks. We have San Diego. Texas will be a list. And then the White Sox. Okay, let's introduce the newest Padre. From San Antonio, Texas, it is the reliever Jeremy Pickering. He's going to stay in Texas and be a Longhorn if he gets there. The left-hander had a 1.14 ERA, 61 strikeouts in 39th innings of work. Throws a good profile that keeps the ball down with the sinker. Slider probably the better pitch. He throws mid-90s with that sinker. Should have good swing and miss material, good movement. Probably will be able to keep the ball in the park, in a park that's already friendly with that. Jeremy Pickering selected here by San Diego. All right, got to look real quickly at the list again. Okay, White Sox will have the final selection of tonight. Let's introduce the latest Ranger selection. They will select 21-year-old Louis Corcoran from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, playing his ball at University of Texas at Arlington. He is a junior. 20 wins the past 2 seasons with a mid-2 ERA and over 250 strikeouts in that time. Solid workhorse, can go deep into games. Just a 3-pitch arsenal. Another one of those guys, finds a confident 4th pitch and can keep good control and movement. This is a guy who definitely moves up leaderboards and will be a massive value play. White Sox will be our final pick for tonight. Friendly reminder, we will reconvene tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern as we will do rounds 3 through 5 in the same format that you are watching right now. Round 3 is going to be much shorter as we have 8 teams, all free agents that were signed. All 3rd round compensation picks were lost. Actually, strike that. 7 were lost. 1 is a 4th rounder because the Yankees lost 2 picks for both Machado and Barbosa. All right, Jake's pick is in. Let's see the final pick to end our first night of the 2031 draft coverage. They will select right-hander Chad Martin. Martin playing for Point Loma Nazarene in San Diego as a junior. He's originally from Nevada. 7-2 this past year as a starter. Many question that he is more likely to be a future closer. Throws mid-upper 90s with a cutter. Slider just as impressive, but those are really the 2 pitches that he has in his arsenal. All right. I will pause the draft. Can I? No. Let me see if that worked. Hold on. I'm just making sure we don't have any more picks happen. dang it. I'm trying to pause the draft. Let me push that to 8 o'clock tomorrow just for the frig of it. Almost there, gang. There we go. All right, I've changed the draft time so that no picks get accidentally done in the middle of tomorrow. We're in a pause right now officially, but here's how we normally do things. You are welcome to continue. I'm going to remind the timer is not officially starting. I am asking, please do not harass any of your fellow general managers because no one is on the clock until we reconvene at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Whatever picks get done, if Cody makes a pick tomorrow morning, perfect. If Minerva does his pick, better. If Moose Powers does his pick, awesome. But we will reconvene when we reconvene. So we are in a pause. We've got our 2 rounds completed. Rounds 3 through 5 will take place tomorrow live here on Twitch. We will not take as long as we did tonight, as we got almost 5 hours of content in this evening. But again, appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate your help on making eMLB what it is. Do I want to go over to italics? Oh, Bowl League's out. Nolan's out. I have never been able to raid Nolan that I can recall. Let me raid over to him. What? Yeah, we'll get ready to raid over to him. Appreciate everybody once again doing their part in making the 2031 eMLB draft. The Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show and the 2031 eMLB Amateur Draft brought to you by the official sponsor of Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. That is APM Music. Factor litter box, I am going, because Fluffy Kitty Ninjas do assassinate, and you're looking at their victim. So next time I can find some glue and tape, I'll put my head back on straight, and we'll be back in front of you tomorrow night. Rounds 3 through 5 live of the 2031 eMLB Amateur Draft. Friends, a reminder, how you think it directs your life. When you think you're best, you will be your best. Please do me a favor, go out and do your best. Have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow, and we hope to see you again here tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern for the continuance of the 2031 eMLB Amateur Draft. Make it a great evening. Over to Nolan Network we will go. Peace.